Hello and welcome to another episode of Geek-men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds. I'm Dustin.
Terry cares
That's
about
right. All right, so we're ready to kick this off. How about get any new pickups, anything in the box that you want to talk about?
Sorry, I'm choking over here. Haven't gotten anything new recently, but put in some pre-orders this week. One of them I'm super excited about. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Let's see here, right here. So, pre-ordered the Dick Tracy flat top Mezco 2-pack.
Hang on, you're not sharing.
It's not sharing.
It's not displaying. Okay, add to state. Okay, there we go.
There we go. So, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with Dick Tracy.
It's awesome.
Loved the movie. I'm a Mezco fan, so I've got I don't know, probably 20 Mezcos. A lot of it's X-Men, DC Comics. But when I saw, I want to say it was maybe about a year ago, they teased the Dick Tracy collection for Mezco, and I was like, man, I gotta have these. So these are two of my most favorite characters of the whole thing. I would really like to get a Sam Ketchum, but they just look really fun. Put this on pre-order. It's supposed to be out sometime in second quarter.
Yeah.
But when I saw this, I was like, oh God, I gotta have it. So it's got really cool, like old school accessories. The facial expressions, the cloth goods look really good on this one.
Yeah,
I've got to have it.
I wonder how that what does it does it say like what the material's made out of? Is it like a faux type leather like the X-Men suits, or is it like
no, I'm pretty sure it's like a cloth. It's like a cloth. It's like basically it's a trench coat, so I'm sure they're using some kind of like probably stiffer cloth for it versus the leather stuff. I've heard some people having problems with some of the pleather stuff that they're using, like flaking and stuff like that. I've seen some pictures of it. I haven't had any problems with anything that I've had.
Yeah, I've my mom says the weapons look cool.
Yeah, they've got some really cool stuff in there.
Yeah. What is that, a crowbar or a?
Yeah, it looks like a crowbar, like a Walther pistol, a blackjack, something that looks kind of like a shiv.
Yeah.
I like the sawed-off double-barrel shotgun. That's awesome. And then obviously the Tommy gun is the icon.
It's classic. You got to have a Tommy gun.
Yeah. So super excited to get this one. I put some more Turtles on pre-order. Actually, Big Bad right now has some of the Super 7 Turtles marked down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've got some 20% offs going on some of those. So, basically $10 off for some of them. I typically wait and see if they hit the daily deals, because typically you may even get more than that. Sometimes they're half off on daily deals. So, yeah. But yeah, can't wait for this thing to come out and get here. I'll probably figure out somewhere to make it, maybe back on the bookshelf somewhere, to make it prominent. In my collection, because it's definitely, if it comes in and as good as it looks, then it'll probably be in my top 3 of my Mezcos that I have.
Yeah, I have a couple Mezcos that I still haven't even opened.
Wow.
And it's just like cool. It came in while I was while I was sick and whatnot. So I haven't even messed with them. So now at this point, now I'm nervous to open them because it's like, should I open them or should I just auction them off to someone, like send it off to someone that really wants them? But
yeah. Well, feel free to show me what you got, and I'm always looking for more.
Well, yeah, especially the Mezco, they're just so cool.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people don't like them. A few people used to, in some groups that we're in together, used to talk all kinds of smack that, oh, with all the cloth goods and everything, they're dollies and all this shit. And
right.
what's funny then is like,
now they're putting those same people are putting clothes on Mythic Legions.
Yeah, and Four
like,
Horsemen went into the soft goods. They've leaned into it pretty hard, and I point that out every chance I can get, that those people are now playing with dollies. And I mean, Four Horsemen helped on the Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
That's really, really good. I haven't gotten it yet. My local store does have it. I'm sleeping on it a little bit, but hoping that it'll be there when I get ready to pull the trigger. But I'm pretty sure my buddy Eric Bertram got it, and it's a badass figure. And Fantastic Four's, I mean, pretty much his jam. So he got the collector. I think he got the 4-pack that they put out for the Fantastic Four, and then he got the Doctor Doom. If I'm thinking right, I think he got that set, which is awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. That's an awesome set. A fun set. I know Cornboy probably is all into that.
Oh yeah, he's Mezco. The other one I'm waiting to get is the recovery suit Superman with basically the mullet and the beard.
Yeah.
That's another one that I want. But I've slowed down on Mezco somewhat here recently, just because I haven't had the disposable income like I did to sink into them. And $90 to $120 a figure.
Yeah, it gets expensive, and you better have really want it. So I know there was a couple that when I first got into it, I was just like, yeah, I really want this figure because I did so much with it. So I don't know, I really liked it, but Baron Benz is pretty much the first one that I really went in on. But anyway, good stuff.
Did you get anything this week?
I didn't. I wanted to. I actually just wanted to pick up some figures at what was it, Costco? I think we just stopped by the new Costco earlier, and there were several figures that I didn't have that is just like, oh, I really want that one. Oh, yeah, not Costco. It was Meyer, not Costco. Yeah, it was Meyer. But yeah, it's like, dude, they had the Book of Boba Fett Mando, which is like the prime perfect Mando out there. He's better than all the others combined because it has the soft goods cloth cape and the jetpack and the dark saber. It's absolutely perfect. But so there's that one, and then they also had Ezra and Cad Bane, which was just like, oh, I want all of these. It's like, dang it.
Gotta hold
but
back.
I didn't get him, but I did get a notice that Thundercats are wanting to charge, so I just gotta transfer money to make sure it's covered.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, I'm gonna get Aloro and Wily Kit and Hachimen. It's just
Nice.
like, yes, these are such fun characters, and I love them. So I'm really excited to get them. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well,
And yeah,
we might as well not beat around the bush and jump right into the this week's assignment.
yeah.
I'm still recovering from the experience.
I am too. In fact, I just watched one of them today while I was sitting. I was getting an infusion, and I was sitting there watching it while I was getting an infusion. So it's like, all right, let's get this done. It's cutting it down close to the
Which one
wire.
did you watch today?
Today I watched Return to Oz.
Oh, see, I watched Star Crash today. So I watched Return to Oz, I think, on Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah.
Well,
which one do you want to start with?
Exactly, because it's like,
I say we do Return to Oz first, and then save the Star Crash for the grand finale.
Right. Yep, they watched a couple months ago, and they watched it just not too long ago because they watched it with Humaira earlier. She was trying to watch it as well today. But hey, what's up? Howdy, Jessica.
So I think I was the only one who had seen it before out of the group.
Yeah.
All right. So
I honestly had never heard of this. Never ever. I didn't even know it existed until we looked it up, and I was like, holy crap, it exists.
I just remember like walking into so we had a small town video store, like just not a Blockbuster, just like a mom and pop video store. And when you went into the children's section, like for whatever reason, it and the original Wizard of Oz were always like, boom, right at the beginning of the section. I don't know why. But I had seen this movie like in there, but then I think I said last episode, my cousin Katie got obsessed with it. Really? So every time we would go to her house and like hang out with her and her brother, we would have to watch this damn movie. Yeah, it was the same experience that I had this time with it. So, yeah.
Okay, so
since you haven't seen it, let's get your take first.
So I came off of Star Crash into this one expecting the same experience. So for me, it was a pleasant surprise. I was just like, oh, this has some semblance of a plot.
Oh God.
It's
man.
Like, oh wow, they actually put more effort into their costumes and designs and stuff rather than, like just typical porno stuff like hairspray and plaster to glue everything together. It's like
man. Star Crash.
Yeah. So anyway, I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh, okay, I can get behind this. So then my mind starts instantly going, like trying to remember Wizard of Oz, because I don't like Wizard of Oz that much. And so it's like, oh, you want to watch Wizard of Oz? Yeah, sure, kids, go ahead and watch it. And I'm over here in my corner doing my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
They can watch it, whatever. It's just not my movie. I don't know. But so anyway, I was never that into it. So But I
watched The Wizard of Oz a lot when I was younger.
Yeah, I did too.
I haven't seen it probably since before I was a teenager.
Right. Same.
But I watched it so much when I was a kid. And of course, I had 3 older brothers. We were the kids that, hey, first thing was we were always going to try to pick out the dude who hung himself in the background.
Right.
He had a really old taped copy of it. I think now they've removed that whole piece.
Yeah, I believe
we'd be like sitting at the TV like, when's he swing? When's he swing? And like all excited about that. Then as we got older, I probably watched it a couple times in my teens because we would always try to do the Dark Side of the Moon thing where literally you wait till I think the third lion roar and you start Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, the like CD, and the music almost syncs to things that happen during the movie.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I hadn't heard
the original Wizard of Oz, not Return to Oz, but yeah. So I've seen the original a lot, but just not recently.
Yeah, same. So I was having trouble remembering. It's just like, wait, did they put Scarecrow in charge of everything before they left, or how did that work? And I'm just like, all right, I just remembered her, hey, it's no place like home, and clicking her heels. It's just like that was the end of the movie. It was like, all right, peace, So I was like, man, did they do that? I don't remember. I'm sitting there trying to remember like the entire first half of the movie. When I'm just like, you know what, screw it. It is what it is. I just moved on and accepted it.
Yeah. Man, this one, like, you want to talk about, so Wizard of Oz is somewhat of a dark movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess
the flying monkeys and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, depending on how old you are, I mean, that can scare the shit out of a little kid.
Yeah. I was one of those little kids that was scared of those things.
Yeah. And the Wicked Witch, I mean, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
To me, the way this movie opens, and by the way, I had forgotten that whatever name, Fairuza Balk, is Dorothy in this one.
Yeah.
Who's, I mean, she's had a storied career in Hollywood of playing not so nice characters, or I don't know how you say it. I mean, she was the girlfriend in American History X.
Oh wow, okay.
Done TV, like she's played a lot of characters that are in direct opposition to the theme of Dorothy, like the wholesomeness of Dorothy, like all that. Obviously, this was when she was a child, but I mean, right at the beginning of the movie, like Dorothy had come back from Oz and told everybody that you were there and all this. Right. Well, then she can't sleep. Flowing into this movie, and literally they're taking her to get electric shock therapy.
Right. And I thought it was insanely dark. I'm thinking, like, holy crap.
Which I had read that somebody kind of listed this as like a children's-ish horror movie, which, I mean,
I suppose
it's a pretty dark movie.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Especially if you think about it that way, because man, dude, I was like, dude, what the heck? and they're over there talking to her like, see, these are his eyes, that's his nose, and what's that? It's a tongue. It's just like, it was almost like patronizing and like just so shady. It's just, I know that probably how you would talk to a kid to get them to be comfortable with something. I know doctors do that sort of thing, like silly things with the stethoscope and stuff like that all the time to get people more comfortable. But man, everything was off about that movie. We're taking you, dropping you off. See you later.
Well, and they put her in that room, and then like you hear the other patients like
screaming.
Yeah, like I'm just like, oh my god, like the 7 or 8 year olds gonna lose their mind over this. And
Right.
I don't think it ever affected me because by the time I was seeing this movie, I'd already seen RoboCop. Like I'd
Right.
seen,
Right.
Predator, RoboCop, all that stuff. So, it really wasn't that frightening for me. But for like a normal kid who had parents who actually wanted them to be well adjusted, they'd have to be scared out of their mind. Yeah, man.
And I kind of wonder if that's why I wasn't allowed to watch it. Like my mom knew about it, but didn't let me watch it because of that reason. Because
Mhm.
I never heard of this movie ever until we looked it up last week. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. But
I mean, to me, there's a lot of fun aspects of the movie.
mm,
Um, like just the three characters that like are her companions. Yeah, TikTok,
yeah,
Jack Pumpkinhead,
yeah,
and then Gump. Uh, Jack Pumpkinhead, like he's got some really good parts
yeah,
in the movie, especially the scene I was talking about last time. I thought they went upside down, but it's just he leans over the side of Gump while they're flying and then loses his head.
yeah. And doesn't it fall on top? And he's just like, "Why is everyone upside down?"
Yeah, so when they land, his head falls back on his neck upside down.
Right.
Yeah, but there's like this whole skydiving scene
Yeah.
of when the magical couch fern,
Gump
moose head
thing.
thing
Yeah.
falls apart and like Dorothy's like flying through the air like skydiving style to get this trying to get the pumpkin head, and I'm like, this is trippy. Like I really think like if you want to maximize the viewing experience of this movie, you need to smoke peyote,
Yeah, that's probably true.
some kind of hallucinogen. Um, yeah, it was pretty much what I expected though. Like
Yeah.
having seen it before when I was younger.
And
Um,
I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, "Oh wow, okay, this wasn't as bad as it looked." Because I mean, at first, when I was first looking at it, it looked like it was older than Wizard of Oz. It looked like it should have taken place before, like
yeah.
way before, and it's just like, wow, it's crazy. But
Well, and they leaned into so Wizard of Oz to me is a better looking film because it was all practical for the most part.
yeah,
And then just basic animation for like some scenes. Um, but this one, they used claymation and, a lot of that other stuff that it just doesn't fit well sometimes in live action. Like I like claymation on its
yeah,
own.
yeah,
Um, not so much when you mix it with scenes like the Gnome King and the face in the mountain and all that. Like then he becomes a real man at one
yeah.
point. And I'm like, why now is it a human playing him?
Right, right. He shows off the ruby slippers, and it's just like, and
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, I guess you had to have feet in order to, okay. But yeah, that was really weird. It was just like all of a sudden he's there, and he's like a person. I'm like, wait a minute,
And he
that
doesn't
dude
look
looks
good.
familiar.
He does not look good at that point.
Well, I thought he looked better than just being like a shadow on a rock.
Well, true. I'll give you that one.
I was just like,
But
oh, okay, well, he's now a person. He may somehow managed to become a person. It's just like, all right, I
yeah.
just went with it. It's one of those things.
Well, I think one of the things that worked better in the original Wizard of Oz too, um, so the personification that her companions had. in this one, you know, they're more like puppets and stuff like that, where in the original, obviously it's humans in costume.
Right.
And so I think that makes for just a better overall experience for the viewer, where like the scarecrow looks stupid as hell in my
He
opinion.
really does.
The
I was just
Tin
like,
Man was just as bad.
yeah.
And then look at the lion. Like,
Yeah.
I
I
was,
was completely different.
yeah. So I don't, some of that stuff kind of annoyed me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that's just like, all right. That's supposed to be the lion. Okay. Move on. Get it.
But it was also, because I don't know if The Wizard of Oz was originally a Disney movie. I think Disney purchased the property after the fact.
It's possible. It wouldn't surprise me, to say the least.
Yeah, I don't think the studio was originally. Let's see here. Paywall. I ain't paying for nothing. Trying to see if it shows me the studio in here. Because I thought it even said on the one that on the Return to Oz IMDb that they had to pay for the rights. So it was a Warner. Well, it was MGM because it had the lion. It was an MGM
Right.
movie, so they had to basically, yeah, production company MGM. So when Disney, obviously, I don't know if they bought the rights to the original Wizard of Oz or if they just like paid to be able to piggyback off of it and use some of that. Maybe
Right.
some of that played into it too, where they couldn't make it quite like carbon copy.
Right.
But yeah, it definitely
Downgraded some of those characters in my.
yeah, it my thing is they tried to use a lot of the stuff that was a trend in the 80s. And you know, Disney had a penchant for a lot of the stuff that they did in that movie at the time. And I think it would have been a much better movie if they maybe took a more classical approach and made it more like The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, kids at that time period liked it. I mean, it was relatively successful.
Was it?
At the time? Yeah, I got Wizard of Oz up right now. Man, it doesn't get great ratings. Let's just say that. Let's see here. Well, I guess it really wasn't that big of a. At least in theaters, it wasn't a big hit. But I mean, I remember kids my age like renting the hell out of the movie and
Yeah.
talking about it and watching it. So I think it's like one of those cult following
Yeah.
type things. But I don't know. It was when comparing the two movies for the assignment this week, it was a pleasant surprise when compared against Star Crash.
Right. Yeah. Oh, dude. Adapted from Marvelous Land of Oz, illustrated. Okay. Interesting. But Yeah, and I guess my mom's never heard of it until my girls wanted to watch it, which I didn't even know my girls were wanting to watch it. So, whatever.
Yeah, so Disney had to pay royalties to use the characters and stuff like that. So um, they probably only wanted to stick to the original source material so far. And to me, that hurt the movie. Was they kind of tried to Disneyfy it, and
yeah,
that wasn't the way to go, in my opinion. I'm trying to see. I thought there was one more actor in it that kind of surprised me, but I don't see. Yeah, I don't see it. See him on here. Oh, it's the guy that played Admiral Akbar.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he was TikTok.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's funny. After he, voiced Admiral Akbar with that
Yeah.
messed up voice, and then he turns around and he's TikTok in this. So
Yeah, it was. Okay, so it says the Gnome King was played by Nicole Williamson, and I don't know what it is, but that dude looked so familiar. Let's see.
yeah, this was the other movie that the girl who played Dorothy was in. She was in The Craft back in the 90s, like the witchcraft movie. I think
Yeah.
Dev Campbell was in it too. She was in that. She's definitely got a very unique look as an actress. But I mean, she's been in a ton of shit over the years.
Yeah.
A lot of them are like unknown movies, like probably straight to DVD shit. But
right. Faruza?
yeah, Feruza. Yep. Feruza Balk.
Oh,
But yeah,
boy.
she was an Almost Famous. I don't remember her in that at all. But yeah, she was Edward Norton's girlfriend in American History X before he goes to prison.
Yeah. She's in the Island of Dr. Moreau, huh?
God, I haven't seen that movie since it came out.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
It was hyped up to be this big movie, and I don't think it hit where it was
Anywhere near it. Yeah.
Yeah, what else? She was in The Water Boy.
Wait. That's not the She Showed Me Her Boobies and I Liked It girl, is it?
I'm not sure. It's her name's Vicky Valancourt in it. It might be.
Oh, it is. That's totally the girl. When
Nice.
Adam says, "Oh yeah, she showed me her boobies and I liked it." Oh, that's funny. Oh, who would have thought that little old Dorothy would have grown up to be?
Mm-hmm. She's had some racy movies that she's been in.
Oh goodness, that's funny. It's funny because I think Jessica sent me that clip of Adam Sandler saying, "She showed me your boobies and I liked it," and it was embedded into some meme, and it's just funny that is the exact scene that happened in the clip and in our assignment. So I did. Oh boy. So okay, I guess
We've been avoiding Star
It's time
Crash.
to dive in.
Now.
Star Crash.
Hey, you got 4.0 stars.
Yeah, I don't know. Dude.
So, very first thing that annoyed me in this movie, very first thing. So, in the first scenes, like these ships are flying through space and very reminiscent of A New Hope right at the beginning.
Yeah.
But literally, I feel like they filmed this on a camcorder because the stars in the background, everything's going like this in screen for a lot of the space part. And I'm just like, what the hell did they film this on? And like, it got to me like, through the movie.
I was annoyed because it's just like, okay, we get it. It's a long ship. Because they were like, it was even to the point that it was like drilling it even past the jab that Spaceballs goofed on Star Wars for. It's like they drug it out, and it's like, okay, we get it. It's a long ship. Just move up. And every single time it's just like, oh look, here's 3 ships. Oh, here's 2 ships. Here's 2 ships coming that way. And it's just like, okay, it was just like one after another. And it's like, okay, they're literally showing every single person taking off out of this city thing to go attack this other base. And it's like, okay, we get it.
So, in the same vein, another thing that annoyed me is very early on in the movie, it's the first time you see the guards with the goofy metal helmets.
Yeah.
2 of them are walking away from you. And like, I don't know what that thing was. They're standing in it. It like rotates, the door opens, they walk out. Well, down the hall, a guy starts walking towards you.
Uh-huh.
So in a normal movie, if you want to record all this movement, you would probably cut to different views. Well, this guy starts out way down here, moves in a V shape into the thing. It rotates or whatever again, and then it shows him walk all the way out.
Yes.
In one continuous shot to the door at the end of the other hall.
And
I'm like, how long did this scene take?
I know.
At that point,
that's actually a scene that Pumaira commented on too. She's like, "Oh my gosh,
it took forever."
It did, and it felt like it took forever.
Yeah. So this movie reminded me of like a high school / college film student project.
Yeah.
Like, look at the quality that Star Wars was. And I know, like, it's easy to shit on this movie because we've had Star Wars all these years.
Yeah.
But if you put these movies side by side and look at the space scenes, I mean, Star Wars is like people using machine guns versus Star Crash would be people using wooden spears.
Right.
Like that's the dynamic of the two. Like George Lucas was able to make spaceships and the movement and how they looked in space so realistic.
Yeah.
And this movie, like, I could perceive that they were using models. Like, there was a scene where 3 ships like dropped out one after the other, and I could tell they're like styrofoam.
And you even saw the stick.
Yeah,
that it was on in some scenes. It's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me that this came out of the same time period.
Right. It's baffling, really. But I mean, it's hard to not to shit on this movie because of we had Star Wars. We had the privilege of experiencing a masterpiece, in my opinion. And
this was just to me, it's just a money grab by a studio of.
Hey, they did this. We should be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just slap together something, and it's just damn.
I'm sure they didn't throw anything at the budget.
Right.
Let's see here. What was the budget for this? Did I pass it? Maybe it's not listed because it was so small. This doesn't even give performance facts like it does on the other ones. Jesus. So this came out 2 years after A New Hope.
Yeah.
Because it was 77, this is 79. Which this is right before Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
Jesus.
It was like a little late and you just go home.
Yeah.
At that point.
Oh my God. I'm trying to think what else. Like the weapons looked so dumb.
They really did. I mean, it looked like a stick.
Yeah.
It's just like okay.
The other piece was when people were getting shot by the lasers. Like the lasers just look like a drawn line.
Yeah.
On the thing, and like hits the dude, and there was actually like a flame where his like costume got hit with the laser, and there's a flame that came out, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like they actually did that little part.
Yeah.
Decent, but it looks so bad.
It really it really did.
And, the part where the main girl, she's on the planet and there's a ship landing, like you could tell where they overlaid their film of them dropping this model and her, and it was all discolored.
Yeah.
Like the coloring was weird. Like she had been running through like a swampy area. Like you can totally tell, like I got the feeling like they're shooting a movie out in the middle of Florida somewhere. It didn't feel like another planet.
Right.
They established no like backstory of this place that they're on and like the habitats and all that, which Star Wars always did a really good job of.
But at the same time, I feel like it was subtle. Like they didn't manage to accomplish what Star Wars so excellently did. Like, because Star Wars didn't have to say, okay, we're going to a planet, but it has 2 suns.
They just showed you.
And now we're on a frozen planet. Okay. It's just like it was just like there and implied, like, and you just were able to roll with it. Whereas this, it was just like ups, downs, left, and we're all in the middle, and none of it makes sense.
Well, it's hard to criticize this movie for plot because it didn't really have much of a plot storyline.
No, it really didn't.
Like I've seen porn that has more of a plot than this.
Right.
And like my wife and I were laughing about it because I've seen porn that's much higher quality than this.
Yeah.
As far as
that's what Pumira was talking about. She's just like, she said this looks like a porno that they only spent like $20 on. And I'm like, but all that $20 would have been to Hasselhoff's hair.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like $20 of hairspray for Hasselhoff's hair. It's like, and I'm like, I said, I've seen higher quality porno than this. It's just like there's really no excuse.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't super surprised to see Hasselhoff in this, but I was surprised that Christopher Plummer was in it. So he's the Emperor. He plays the Emperor, and he is a very popular actor through the years. I mean, he's played all kinds of characters, not really main characters.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, but once you see his face, you realize who he is. I was like, man, like I can't believe that dude was in this movie.
How far does someone need to fall in order to land in this movie? He went from The Sound of Music to this. Like, what?
Yeah, let's see what he did right around the same time. He might have went through a little bit of a lull in like good parts, like big parts.
Yeah.
Let's see what he do right before it. Jeez.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it was 14 years between The Sound of Music and this, and it kind of looked like he took some parts just to fill in. I mean,
yeah,
as a working actor, I mean, sometimes you just need that paycheck.
Yeah.
So, have you seen the movie Argo that Ben Affleck did? So it's about us trying to. There's a group of Americans who get stuck in, I believe it's Iran, back in late 70s, I think.
Okay.
And so they create a fake movie and then they create this whole ruse that this fake movie is happening called Argo, and it's a science fiction movie. And so the CIA is working to get these people out of Iran. So they make up this whole story that these people in Iran are a Canadian film crew for this movie. Okay. So they have to act like they're, film producers and everything that are there. Well, this science fiction movie's fucking terrible. Like they're just throwing stuff together to make it look like they're making this movie to get these people out. Star Crash is that movie. Like it was thrown together to get POWs. Well, they weren't POWs, but to get American nationals out of Iran. Like that was the point of throwing this together. It wasn't for it to be an actual movie that people enjoy. That's kind of how I look at this movie.
It does. It really does.
And when you said you were going to one-up me after I suggested Return to Oz, you 100% one-upped me on the level of shittiness of a movie we could find.
Yeah.
This one is a 0 out of 10 for me. 100%.
Yeah, I hear that. It was abysmal, and I felt like that movie dragged on, and it's just like, okay, can we just maybe speed this up a little bit? And it's like we haven't even gotten to see Hasselhoff yet, and it's like a full hour plus into the movie, and it's like, geez, oh whiz, like, come on. Because I was like, Hasselhoff's in this. I went and looked, and it said he was Prince whatever, and I'm just like, huh, okay. Well, we haven't met Prince whatever, and it's just like, And I refuse to believe that he was like some sort of weird makeup, in makeup, disguised in makeup, something. I'm like, there's no way he would do that. And sure enough, boom, head, flowing hair, and it's just like, oh, it's so over the top. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom, you really don't
Don't
need
waste
to.
your time.
It wasn't a good movie at all.
No. If I can forget this movie ever touched my eyes, I will be happy. But PTSD is real.
It really is.
So, oh man,
there's so many things that I could actually sit down and comment on, like details, like, okay, well, that's a direct rip off of this, or that's a direct rip off of that, and that's how when Pumira and I were sitting down watching it, she was like saying, "Huh, an ice planet. Huh, where have you seen this before?" Which in reality, we just saw that it came out before, so necessarily isn't, but still, regardless, it's just one of those things. It's like scantily clad woman, and then she wears like what, saran wrap through half of the movie.
well, the spacesuits were so awful. Whatever they were trying to do with that,
It was terrible.
or whatever type of suit that was, it seemed like a spacesuit, but I'm like, they literally put no effort into making costumes that were believable.
Right.
And then the robot guy.
Oh yeah, and he just happens to be programmed to speak like Southern, like deep. Oh boy, howdy, oh boy, I think we got a heck of a thing here.
Just like I'm looking at him, and he's got like corrugated piping, on his elbows so he can move them and stuff. And I'm like, this thing's so cheap and so shitty. Like, oh my god. Oh.
It was funny how bad it was, but at the same time, it's like,
yeah, it should be classified as a comedy.
Yep, sci-fi comedy. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely not one to take serious.
Not at all.
And I don't know. I feel bad for anyone who does take it seriously.
Because there's probably people out there that are fans. They're like, "Oh my god, this was the shit."
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure there are people out there that are like that. Because I mean, I think it all comes down to nostalgia, but at the same time, I feel like this movie probably won't ever get that kind of recognition that other cult movies find eventually, because there is no comparison when you look at Star Wars compared to Star Crash. It's like, what?
You'd literally have to be in a cult to find this movie entertaining. You'd have to be brainwashed to think that this was entertaining. Like they were literally at Mount Carmel in Waco, Texas, and David Koresh put the poor kids in front of this movie. Like, you're gonna like it.
You're gonna like it.
Yeah, people think it was the FBI that like went out there and caused all that. The kids probably set themselves on fire because they were making them watch Star Crash.
Yeah, they probably did.
Oh man. Hopefully nobody watching had any family members at Waco.
Yeah, well, sorry if you did, but it's funny.
Kid just doused himself in gasoline, set himself on fire, burned the whole place down. They made him watch Star Crash.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So, did you watch? Were you here for the other really bad one we watched? The Cursed, or
no,
I don't know.
No,
I don't think you were partook in that one, but So it's one of those things that it's like, now it's like, all right, now which movie have we watched that's worse? Is it Star Crash or that? Oh, The Uninvited. That's what it was.
Yeah, I wasn't here for it.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to have you sit down and watch that sometime and then come back and say, okay, no, that was worse, or Star Crash was by far worse. You know?
I mean, it's going to have to be really bad to take the torch from Star Crash. Like,
well, okay, so that movie pretty much got us this channel a slap on the wrist, so to speak, because like we're streaming it live, not we're streaming the trailer live, and boom, they cut us off, shut us down completely. And it's just like, what? And then finally it came back up once we stopped playing the trailer. But like I guess Eric was watching it, Zombie was watching it at the time, and he was on a side quest or something, and he was just like, oh no, what happened? It was a movie I suggested, and it's gone. And he's over here texting me like, everything's black. Just like, oh.
Oh man. Now I'm interested to check it out.
Yeah, it almost got us
The Uninvited.
Yeah.
Because it is one I don't think I've ever seen. Like 1996?
No. It was older.
2008?
No.
There's a couple in here, The Uninvited.
It has a cat.
A cat. Like on the cover?
Yeah.
I don't think any of these have a cat.
Dang, I'm gonna have to look this up because it's not coming up for me either. I want to say it was the Uninvited.
Let's just see. Like, what year would you say it was?
Definitely in the 80s.
Oh, 88, Uninvited. It's got a cat on the front of it.
Yeah.
Cats have 9 lives. You only have 1. Oh, boy. What's the rating? Oh, it's 4.4. Crash was 4.0.
Yeah.
The cat meows throughout its voyage on the ship, but its mouth never moves. Oh, man.
Dude, this movie's wacky. And I don't know, we could have had, we had a strong plot for a second one if we ever decided to set out on that task. It would be funny. But
well, yeah, I'll check it out.
See which movie holds the champion's pennant.
Just looking at some of the photos. Pretty bad.
There's one scene where the cat is supposed to like be in the back of this truck, and they just have someone literally toss it in, and you see their hands like in the shot as they're tossing the cat into the truck. It is just like
here we go. I'm gonna share again real quick. You'll have to let it in.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's a weird freaking movie.
Oh. Is that where they're tossing the cat?
No, it was just a red truck where they were tossing it, and Eric pointed it out.
Cat. Look at this. This is the stuff of nightmares. Oh. Oh my God. So bad. That looks good. There we go. That should be that should be the logo for the channel now. That coming out of a cat's mouth. There we go.
That's definitely the epitome of our channel.
What the hell? There we go. That's I would rock that movie poster so hard. What we need to do is just get all these crappy movies and then just decorate with their movie posters. I'll just line my office with movie posters for shit movies. Wow.
Yeah. We need to definitely at one point sit down and have a rating system at some point. I feel like we should have a rating system. But I don't know. At the same time, it's like we explain that, okay, this was good because it was so bad and it was easy to make fun of, or this was legitimately good. So I don't know. Decisions.
I'll equate it to this. Some bad movies are fun to consume because it's like magical how they brought the badness together. So, like, I used to go to this Chinese buffet and they had pizza on the buffet.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It was the shittiest generic pizza ever. But we loved it. Like, it sucked. Like, it wasn't gourmet pizza. I wouldn't like order one and have it brought to my house. But when I went to the Chinese buffet, I always had to have shitty pizza. And like, we talked about it all the time. And a lot of times there wasn't like enough out there. So we like fought over who got the shitty pizza.
Oh,
and
yeah. That's
like some of these movies are like that. Like they're so bad it grows on you. But Star Crash was not one of those. You at least have to have a little bit of a plot, I think, to hit that level.
Yeah. I was pretty bad.
Not so much.
I don't have high standards when it comes to movies, but it offended me on a personal level because I love Star Wars so much. It's like, God, this is trash.
Yeah,
this is offensive.
They had a model to go off of,
right,
and rejected it in every single way possible.
Exactly. I can see them trying to do some of the shots that they, because he was very specific when George Lucas was very methodical when it came to the aerial scenes and the space battles and stuff like that. So he even like sat down and cut together like a generic like B footage from other movies and was like, this is how I want it to come out. And he has the shots all down and everything, and he even got like perfect, and it's just like, wow, okay. And then again with this movie, it's just like, again, you have all this experience in it's frustrating.
The difference is George Lucas is wildly talented and a visionary, where the people who worked on this movie, they're like your C players in film school.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much me.
It's like putting me, who knows nothing about making movies, like in there.
Right.
Hey, go make this Star Wars knockoff. Make it look good. Yeah. I just shit in a brown bag and lit it on fire. That's all I would do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, what's our choices for next week?
So, God, I was looking at Tubi earlier, and I was like, "Oh man, that'd be a cool one to do," and I freaking forgot what it was. I need to start writing it down. Because I try to, like, when we watch something, go in there and actually watch, like, look for other ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Let me in.
Let me in. Let me in. Let me out. Let me out. Oh, the downfall of Diddy.
Oh, Jesus.
Kill Bill Volume 1. Right along. Gone in 60 seconds.
Do we want to stay? Do we want to stay with like a fantasy sci-fi theme? What do you think?
Okay, well, here's a movie on Tubi that I've never seen.
Okay.
The Fifth Element.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
That was a big movie. I mean, it was, a lot of people love Fifth Element.
Yeah.
And it's another Gary Oldman movie that he plays a great character in. Let's see here. What else we got?
Let's see if this is available anywhere. Only rent to buy on Amazon. I was gonna say I have never seen Dick Tracy.
So it's not on any
no.
Any type of streaming?
No.
I mean, I loved it when I was a kid. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were just talking about it earlier, so it's like, well, we could do that. But
I'm trying to see here. What else on Tubi could we take a look at? Man, I'm striking out down here. I don't want science fiction TV. I want movies.
Let's see.
There we go. Sci-fi fantasy. Did you say you've seen Stargate?
Yes.
Okay. I knew we had talked about it at one point.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. It's hard for me because it's like there's a ton of stuff that I haven't seen. So it's like I can be like, oh yeah, I've never seen this. Never seen that. But
I feel like there's better choices they could put on here as like their
recommended. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Hercules movie on here that's directed by the same guy as Star Crash.
Oh boy.
Pass. And they got a lot of Van Damme Time Cop. I freaking love that one when I was younger, but I liked any Van Damme movie.
Yeah.
Let's see here. There is a movie I just saw on here called Kung Fu and Titties. Wow. I feel like I'm way deep in this now. Oh, I know what movie it was. So I've never seen the Rock's Rampage.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Never seen it, which is...
You should definitely watch it. It's a good movie.
Yeah, because that's one I've... it's very rare you find something that's mainstream like that I haven't seen.
Yeah. Definitely worth watching. I'd put it on the list to watch. That and Fifth Element. Is that what it said?
Yeah, Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Unless you want to do something to give you one to watch with the kids.
Nah.
I can always go for Little Rascals.
Yeah.
Dennis the Menace.
Yeah. All right. So we'll do that.
Rampage and Fifth Element.
And Fifth Element.
So we should have some better opinions next week.
Yeah.
But in summation, if you're a Wizard of Oz fan, at least check out one time Return to Oz. And now I'm probably going to watch the James Franco one, The Great and Powerful Oz.
Yeah.
Now, just to check it out because I've never seen it.
Yeah, same.
So I'm going to check that one out. But if Star Crash ever crosses your path,
don't bother.
I'll get an enema instead of watching that thing.
And Rampage.
Body cavity search.
There we go. All right, we've made our decision, and I will be signing off to jump into our chat with two Silverline folks about a new comic they have on the horizon. So get ready to tune into that. It'll be just a few minutes, and you'll be able to tune into that and hop on that stream. So yeah. Until then, yeah, I will say sayonara. Let's see. And if I can find this thing, peace out.